1 year into our marriage and we're already having these issues. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. I need to give a backstory for this. So my wife, we can call her Karen, and I have been dating for 4 years entirely and got married for more than a year. I'm 32 and she is 28 and we currently reside in Calgary. Prior to my asking her to marry me, I asked her mother for approval. Since I'm a construction worker, her mother and the whole household did not approve of us to be married since they were afraid that I would not be able to take care of her. She fought with everything she had for us. She readily went against her family and completely cut them off forever just to marry me. For me, this showed she was the one. We, at some point in our relationship, finally got the approval of her family and I proposed to her on the Christmas of 2017. Around February 2018, I saw her messaging a guy called Enrique while we were snuggling and enjoying television. I didn't say anything at first since she does have a great deal of good guy friends. Yet she was texting him every moment of the day, so I chose to ask her regarding him. She explained it was her friend Seth, who lives in Toronto, and she saved him on her phone under his nickname. I knew this was a lie because I have actually spoken to Seth on her phone and it's saved under his real name. I did not want to alarm her, but I know for sure she was lying and hiding something from me. I wanted to gather more evidence before I make a big deal out of this. We moved in together in April of 2018 and I sneakily decided to go snoop on her phone and see if my suspicions about Enrique is true. I saw that they have actually been chatting on WhatsApp for almost a year. They have had late night calls that would certainly last at most an hour. There's also a message of him stating that he's planning a road trip to Calgary and wishes to see her even though he understands she's with somebody. They stopped chatting for some time and they both stated that they missed their conversation. She came clean and said he was a realtor in Toronto that helped her sister find a place when she moved there. She said it was nothing and downplayed the whole situation, saying that they are friends and that sometimes she just needs to talk to someone. I told her to delete his number and stop talking to him and she agreed. I looked in her phone again a month later to see that she had deleted his number and they are no longer speaking. Also, why would she go through all of that trouble with her family if she had bad intentions? I thought perhaps she's telling the truth. So seeing that she listened, we continued to get married in August of 2018 and all was good up until last week. She goes to clubs once in a while because I really do not like clubs, so she has a group of friends she always goes out with and I know all of those friends, so I am comfortable with that. But last Saturday she said that her friends ditched her and she stayed there alone. I asked why she didn't call me and she just said I don't know. So I thought something was fishy, so I went through her iPad and saw there was a message, on Facebook, from a guy. He was saying that he found her and how he still owes her a dance. She replied with next time. He also said things like, you're making me think and we have a lot in common and you know how to shake your hips, you have a good job and you're beautiful, I'd hire you with that resume, to which she replied, bad women aren't for hire. He said other very complimenting things to which she gladly received and not once did she shut down any of his advances. Now I work out of town 7 days at a time and I found this out hours before I was leaving. I am planning my confrontation for when I'm home on Wednesday, but I do not want her to know I snooped through her phone because she got very upset that I did it last time. I love her and want to be with her, but I really don't know what to do or how to approach this situation. I can't sleep at night and I have knots in my stomach. She is going on a trip in mid-November to Asia for 2 weeks with a lady friend of hers and I contemplated installing a spy app to see her messages on her phone without her knowledge. I know that's very deceiving, but I think I'll be more comfortable that way. Update 1. So I decided that I'm going to confront her on Wednesday, the night after she's home from work. I asked her to let me see that convo and to also let me go through her phone to see if there's anyone else she's talking to. I'm not going to install the spy app. If I expect honesty from her, I should also be honest and not do that kind of thing. Update 2. Well, it's almost 2 a.m. and we were arguing all night. I gave her a chance to explain and she said he's a friend of a friend that I know. That's how he found her Facebook. She said he always tries to get her to go out for coffee. And she always tells him that she's married and doesn't go for coffee with guys that her husband doesn't know. So after that I asked to see the full convo. She declined. We argued for about an hour. Her saying that if she shows me now it'll just be precedent for the future. I said if you show me now it'll put all of my worries to bed. She said she would think about it, and went into the bathroom. Came out and looked through her phone and said that she must have deleted the messages because they were so insignificant. No way in hell I believe that. She said she will message him and tell him to tell me what was said. Still not enough. I brought up how I still had trust issues from the past incident and that she still needs to prove herself. She said she's my wife and shouldn't have to prove herself. I should just trust her. She said if she wanted to cheat on me, she'd have a lot of guys come up to her at bars and other places, but she always says she's married. She said she fully trusts me and I should do the same. Fuck, I wish I would have looked at the messages before I confronted her. I never really planned for her not showing me. Whatever was said must have been bad. I told her if she doesn't show me the messages then I'm going to assume the worst, and she still didn't show me them. She cried herself to sleep as I laid there just staring at the ceiling. In the morning, I'm going to let her know I'm still not satisfied with her answer and that she should come clean. Final update, not one word has been said to each other all day. I don't plan on talking to her unless she's telling me the truth. I've already contacted a couple counselors so we could go and hopefully she can see how dumb and pathetic she is being. She's putting her own pride in the way of growing in our relationship. Am I being stubborn by not talking to her until she does, or should I be the grown-up and open dialogue first? Here are some of the best comments from our community. She went into the bathroom with the phone, came out, and looked and said she must have deleted the messages. Apart from the clear infidelity, don't you think you ought to be with someone who treats you like a man with 3 digits in your IQ? You can try counseling, but you have to realize that's a last-ditch effort to see if you're married to an adult. Normally I'd suggest that you run recovery software on her phone. But honestly it's not worth it. Just file for divorce. But before you do, tell her you've found some recovery software to restore the insignificant messages on her phone. Watch her eyes get real big while she shits her pants. Here is the second story. It's an open marriage, but when you break the rule, it's cheating. I, 33M, got cheated on by my soon-to-be ex-wife, STBXW, 32F, in an open marriage. We had a few simple rules, like protection must always be used, not allowed to leave work, never hide it if asked, things like this. So my STBXW mistakenly took my phone to work one day, and she called me to ask if I could bring it to her. After we hung up I noticed she had dozens of texts and messages from a number I didn't know. So I opened it to see if it was an emergency, only to see pics of her with another guy. Not out of the ordinary, except for the timestamp on them, which was 30 minutes after she was supposed to be at work. I asked her about her new boyfriend when she got home from work, to which she said she didn't have one. I asked who the guy blowing her phone up was, and she said a guy she was thinking about playing with. I opened her phone and pulled up the photo, and said, "What about this?" She got mad at me for snooping through her phone. To which I told her, "You took mine," and he was blowing up the phone, so I thought it was an emergency. I looked at the picture a bit more, and noticed there was no protection, and I got pissed. I asked her and she said it broke. 2 days later she packed up her stuff and my kids' stuff and left to live with her sister. We just had an argument because she doesn't view it as cheating since we were in an open marriage. And when I pointed out the rules she broke, she said, "My body, my rules." I left after that. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.